Way to go, Tic Tac!
That's how you punch.
Wakanda forever!
Nah, you wouldn't have heard of me.
Let me put you on hold.
Dance off, bro! He's a friend from work!
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
What up, guys? It's Dom, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we are going over and ranking Rush Hour. Rush Hour, released in 1998, directed by Brett Ratner, a loyal and dedicated Hong Kong inspector teams up with a reckless and loudmouthed LAPD detective to rescue the Chinese consul's kidnapped daughter, while trying to arrest a dangerous crime lord along the way. Now, I haven't watched this movie in a very long time, and I forgot how good it is. I loved this movie. So without further ado, let's get right into the 10 essential aspects of a movie. The first essential aspect is plot. So obviously the main plot of this movie was the consul's daughter getting kidnapped and then them having to save her. However, I feel like everything that happened in between those moments was the part that I was really interested in. So as much as the plot is good, it is very simple and easy to follow. I just feel like the comedy and the shenanigans that Lee and Carter got themselves into were the point that I was interested in the most. The second essential aspect is attraction. So this movie was very entertaining. I really did forget how entertaining it was. I mean, the chemistry between Lee and Carter is so incredible. Obviously, they start off by butting heads, but by the time they actually become friends, it is an awesome journey. And if you guys haven't watched this movie, I highly recommend it. It is absolutely hilarious. And the stuff they get into during the movie when they're just trying to figure out a way to find the kidnapper is awesome. And I think it definitely, just like I said in plot, I think it definitely is the more meaningful part of this movie, their chemistry, compared to the actual plot itself. The third essential aspect is theme. I'm not 100% sure what the main message that they were trying to bring across is, but I don't even think the movie really needed one. I mean, it was good without one. The fourth essential aspect is dialogue. So I thought the dialogue was good, especially from Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I just feel like the chemistry they had on screen was so good that it made their dialogue even better, because the conversations definitely felt real. I thought whenever they were arguing, it felt like a real argument, and when they were joking around, it was very funny. So they could bounce jokes off each other really well, they can bounce lines off each other really well. So overall, I feel like their dialogue was really good. Everyone else, it was okay. It wasn't anything special, but obviously the main focus was the two stars in Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. The fifth essential aspect is acting. Now, just like I said in dialogue, the focal point of this movie was two specific actors, so I'm going to talk about them. One of those is Jackie Chan, who played Lee. I loved what he did in this movie. I feel like he was really, really funny, and the choreography he had for all of the martial arts looked incredible, and it was absolutely awesome. And I feel like there was a lot of scenes in this movie that he definitely ad-libbed, he definitely improvised, and I think it was definitely for the better. I think I can tell when he was doing it, and I knew that they had to keep it in the movie because it was absolutely hilarious. It made the movie even better than what it could have been, so big props to him. And Mr. Majoritarian wanted me to include a scene in here that is absolutely hilarious, and I guess I will, because it is very funny, and definitely you can't do this anymore in movies, but in 1998 it passed by, and it was honestly for the better, because this scene was hilarious.
What's up, my nigga? What did you just say? What's up, my nigga?
And yeah, I don't see that in many movies anymore, but that scene was absolutely hilarious, and I just can't wrap my mind around it. It was just real funny. So obviously Jackie Chan did an amazing job, and Chris Tucker was the other one, and I feel like he was the perfect choice for this reckless LAPD officer, just lone wolf, wanting to do everything on his own, not caring, joking around all the time. It was a really fun character. I really enjoyed it, and I thought he paired up with Jackie Chan really, really well. So I had to talk about those two guys in particular, but everyone did an okay job. There was no terrible acting in this, but they were definitely the two that shined the most. The sixth essential aspect is cinematography. So when it comes to cinematography, I mean, the visuals are okay, nothing to write home about, but nothing really to complain about. And it's the same thing with the emotion. I feel like there's nothing really, other than, I guess, happiness and joy from laughing, because it's a funny movie. But when it came to actually being emotionally invested, it didn't really do that for me. The seventh essential aspect is editing. So Rush Hour is an hour and 38 minutes long, and I thought that was perfect. They knew that they couldn't really stretch any more out of the story. So instead of just forcing some empty scenes and some really dull moments to make the movie longer, they kept it short and sweet and right to the point. And I thought that was an excellent choice. Especially since they're making sequels, they don't want to waste everything they could have in that think tank. So I'm glad they kept it short and sweet, to the point. Excellent plot, and it all was paced well, and it was very funny as well. So I think that the editing was honestly really, really good, and a great choice to keep it short. The eighth essential aspect is soundtrack. Now, I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. I feel like it fit the characters really well, and the scenes where Jackie Chan was singing along to the music, those definitely made it better. So I definitely think the soundtrack's pretty good, if not great. The ninth essential aspect is directing. Now, I feel like the director's job is to take these previous 8 essential aspects, put them together to make a movie that's worth watching. And the director of this movie is Brett Ratner, and he previously directed one other movie, and that is Money Talks. And I've never seen it, so I don't really know how much to say about it. But when it comes to, is this movie worth watching? I think absolutely. I think it's a great laugh. It's a lot of fun. It has an intriguing plot to a point, and the characters are just awesome to follow. So if you want to see a good movie and one that's not anything too crazy or too long, Rush Hour is definitely the movie for you. And the 10th essential aspect is time. Will Rush Hour stand the test of time? I mean, definitely. I mean, it already did. It's 26 years old now, and basically everyone knows what Rush Hour is. They made 2 sequels that are good as well. So I have to say, yes, it definitely stands the test of time. Now, onto the reviews. I think the audience has this right on the money. So Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it a 62%, Rotten Tomatoes audience gave it a 79%, and IMDb gave it a 70%. Now, me personally, I definitely agree with the audience. I feel like an 80%, 79% is right where it should be, because it doesn't have a lot wrong with it, but it also isn't perfect, so it has to have that gap. It's like a 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely agree with that. That's personally where I would put it. And finally, the rankings. Where will Rush Hour rank in its year, decade, and in all time? Let's find out, starting in 1998. It's going to be first. It's the only movie I've reviewed so far, so until I review more, it's going to be the only one on that list. And now in the 1990s, it's going to be third, above Steel and below Toy Story. I feel like I don't really have to go into why it's above Steel. I mean, the gap there is massive. This movie beats out Steel in basically if not everything, actually. I feel like it beats it out on absolutely everything, so I'm not even going to spend more time explaining why. And it's below Toy Story because Toy Story is it's a rare breed. I mean, it was made around the same time, and it looks amazing. I think the plot, especially back then, the plot was extremely original. No one's done anything like it. And the voice acting was incredible. And of course, it's still relevant nowadays. They made so many sequels. And that was somewhat of an easier choice for me. Even though Rush Hour is really good, it's still up there. But I just don't think it's on the same level as Toy Story. And in all time, it's going to be 12th, above Inside Out 2, and below Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I would say it was a very hard choice where to put this, because Inside Out 2 is obviously the sequel to Inside Out. And if I had to choose which of these 2 movies I would watch Rush Hour, or which one I would get rid of Inside Out 2, because Inside Out 1 exists. Now, I like Inside Out, the first one, more than the second one. So obviously that's high up on my list. I'm pretty sure it's like 3rd right now or something like that. And I can't, it's hard to say, because when I really break it down, I have to choose which one I would rather watch or which one I'd rather never watch again. And because it's a sequel that's slightly worse than the original, that's why it's so much lower in the list. Otherwise, I would put Inside Out above Rush Hour, but where the list stands now, I gotta put Rush Hour above it. And below Deadpool and Wolverine, just because both are action-packed, both are absolutely hilarious. I just enjoy the duo of Deadpool and Wolverine, Wade and Logan, more than Lee and Carter. And it's not by much, because honestly, both of these duos are absolutely awesome. But that is going to be my Marvel bias, taking control a little bit and putting it above it. Because I feel like these are honestly pretty close. That's all I have for Rush Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and make sure to comment what movie you want me to review next. What did you guys think of Rush Hour? I mean, which one is your favorite one out of the three? I think my favorite one's the third one, but I don't know. When I eventually review it, we'll find out then. But either way, I hope you guys have an amazing night. Peace out.